Hello. Today we'll look into the idea of adaptation and what it represents, what it can be used for, and maybe transmute the idea a little so that we can receive a better understanding of how useful it is. So, adaptation is something that we all know in one way or another, and generally it means to work in a specific way to survive in a given environment, or maybe not survive, but work in a given environment, even exist, if I may say so myself, because it actually is our work in the direction of the environment as in a way that we will be accepted and the environment will be acceptable to us. So in any case, when we adapt, we actually work on both ourselves and our understanding of the environment. Let's put it in a little different perspective. We all have some ideas that we would like to explore and some things that we like to do, would love to do, etc. And most of the time we think that's good, but we don't have the opportunity. We don't know how, and we think that we don't have time. That's the general assumption and thought process. But actually, what can we do? We can find a way to do it in the given, regardless of our surroundings, or actually regarding our surroundings. What would that mean? Everything around us, whatever it's happening, whatever idea we might like to explore, we can use everything around us in a way that will be adaptive and will work in the direction and idea that we wish to explore. This means to, once we've chosen something that we would like to do, we start looking for ways to do it in every condition that we normally know that we're in. And once we start looking into those conditions, like work, school, university, whatever the environment might be, we can find more and more opportunities to adapt and do what we love or would love to do, so that we can explore the ideas that we like. That's one side of adaptation, and it requires work and decision making. That's all. The process is as simple as just deciding it and starting to do it. If we wish to do something, we start doing it. We follow the path that we wish to follow in that direction, so that we can end up where we wish to be. But what happens when we start talking about results? We all start thinking about how they have to be in a specific way, in the way that we want them to be, how we want them to happen, how it's supposed to work, what's supposed to be done, what's supposed to happen, and we know absolutely everything. And at the first point where we see that something is amiss, something is out of proportion of what we've imagined or set for ourselves, we start thinking about quitting, because there's no point in doing it. We start thinking that it's impossible. The conditions are obviously against us, since the result is not what we look for, but actually the truth is that those conditions are the best result that we can receive for whatever kind of idea we may have, or whatever we decide to do. Why? If the information regarding something, whatever it is, can be gathered out of every event, subject, idea, person, behavior, whatever. We just have to look into it. So adaptation in this case would mean to also start looking into the events in the surrounding environment, so that we can look for the answers inside. And by looking inside, we actually adapt in the best way possible, because we use what's in front of us to receive the results that we're looking out for. So actually every single moment we have results. The idea is how deep are we willing to go and how devoted are we to the idea in order to continue on that path and find new perspectives in which it can be developed and manifested just as an act, as a result, as something that can be seen outside of our own thinking. Why is this important? If we neglect the results outside of our actions, or respectively our actions and the reflection that the environment, the way the environment reflects those results, we actually stop our development. We are unable to receive any more ideas of how we are able to continue if we don't actually consult with those ideas, with that feedback or that information that's provided from the environment. So adaptation would mean receive a very important part in the work where and when we actually look outwards, outside of ourselves, in a way that we can adapt our thinking to be more synchronistic with the current ideas of the environment, and to work with those ideas in order to develop the initial idea that we've decided to work on. Why is this important? When we're using the environment's information or the information that it provides us, we're actually working with the potential that the closest thing that the environment is able to accept and is accepting, so that it can see the results later. Why is it important for the environment to see the results? If we do something and we start hiding it, is there an actual result? There's no way for anyone or anything, for that matter, to realize what we've done, how we've done it, and the action by itself becomes meaningless if there's nobody to actually use it afterwards. So the significance of the environment knowing what we've done is huge for a couple of reasons. One of which is to see their reflection on that result. So reflection would mean their feedback. Once we see their reactions, we know what we've done correctly, what we've done wrong, how we can adapt it. By adapt, I mean usually when we do something wrong or when we do something right, considering the reaction of the people that are seeing it and using it, we can make a simple deduction how it can be made better, regardless of if the focus on the specific feedback is negative or positive. There's always something that can be used in order to develop the idea that we wish to realize. Yes, realize. Let's use realize. This is something that we should focus on. The idea is to focus our efforts outwards towards the environment in order to help it develop in a better way, so that in that sense we can adapt easily. We give the environment more reasons to adapt, and by changing ourselves we actually help the environment change, so that the conditions become better for everybody. Now this is considering this is in case we actually work for the benefit of the environment. If we do things for our own benefit, everybody reflectively will start doing everything for himself or herself, and in that sense there won't be any result. We can't even interact in any way. So in order to receive new ideas, share ideas, have consistent development, change, whatever. So but while we're sharing, there is no way for us to skip out on the feedback. There's always a reflection. So our focus, or our main focus, is usually and is supposed to be on that of what the environment sees, or what it should see. What do I mean? We start working on an idea, we develop the idea, and the more we work, the more we see where all the gaps are, because and this is in the case that we're working for the environment, we see how the environment uses it and how it doesn't use it. So usually it's a 50-50. They manage to perceive 50% of the idea and use it properly, and the other 50% is neglected, or it's not neglected, it's the feeling is more like it's unseen, it doesn't exist. So adapting that result, we can see that the more that we'll always have something to do, because it will always be 50-50, and however more we work for the environment, that much more exciting the idea becomes, because we share something with someone, and the next moment he does something else that's even more something else but similar to the idea that we've explored and shared, which reflects on us as well, and we see another variation of our idea that can be adapted in another way, and we can use it as he used our idea, in a way that excites us the most. We will focus on what how we can use the excitement more, but the global idea is here, that the global idea here is that the more we share, the more sharing we receive, and therefore we receive more ideas that revolve around the initial idea that we started working on. So this is something that turns out to be special for us, because whatever we do, however we do it, it always revolves around the things that we like. So the more we share, the more sharing we receive, and having adapted the habit to look for the results, for the practical results into the things, into all the events around us, we receive double the ideas, triple the ideas, a lot more ideas, as opposed to if we're just hiding our results. So think about that, think of what you would like to do, or how you can adapt your ideas and how you can use them. That's, let's say, the first step of how you can change your life and your reality. We'll work on the reality as well. We're starting on a logical basis, so that the channel receives a better publicity. But that's not, I'm just joking. I'm not sure how to present the other piece of the information. So for now, we'll leave here. I will work on adapting my ideas in a way that are more understandable. I rely on your feedback on this video, because there was a lot of stuttering in my opinion. And I'll see you next time, and have fun. Remember to look into what you like to do, how you can do it, and in what way can you provide it to the environment so that it can use it. Remember, everything has its own place everywhere since it exists. Goodbye for now.